KOZUKI Clan, live!
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Podcast, live at RadCon 4 Paradise. I'm the best guy ever, and this is Co-Captain Give and Take.
Hello everyone. Look what we have. We have now...
Our bounties just came in, everybody.
We just got our bounties from the bounty place.
I'm worth 100,000 subs. Hooray!
You don't even have that many subs.
No, I lost it. My bounty has gone down since this was published.
And I am worth nothing.
Nothing.
So, you know, at least my name's out there. My many names are out there now.
It's good to be a beloved hero of the pirate race. Today what we're doing...
Today what we're doing is we're reviewing chapter...
973.
973.
The KOZUKI Clan.
All right.
And I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
So, we've got a cover arc before we get into the chapter, as always.
We both have the chapter on our vision dials.
That's right.
That's what these are.
Volume 21 of Gang Bija's Oh My Family, Gotti's Counterattack. So in this increasingly still very uninteresting cover arc, Gotti is saving them from the Marines or something.
Yes, he uses his gun on his arm to shoot, and there's an explosion. It's really absolutely nothing is happening.
I'm still counting on like literally the last page, just like with, what's-his-face, Bartolomeo's cover arc. That last page is going to save us when it turns out that these Marines are like literally the children of Virgo, and like Virgo is reincarnated.
Children of Virgo wouldn't even be interesting.
I mean, that wouldn't even be cool. Who's a cool, like there's Smoker's brother and sister, and even that wouldn't be interesting.
No.
There's no way to save this cover arc.
It's Smoker himself.
Nothing about this is interesting.
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll see what happens.
Cover arcs are usually like that, but
maybe they'll be aligned
I've accepted that this one might just be shit.
Like the Jinbei one was also kind of shit. All he did was he did get a poneglyph, but that poneglyph was no more plot relevant than like any other poneglyph we've ever seen.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that was the one where he made friends with the big
Wadasuke, the pufferfish fishman.
Yeah, giant
Wadasumi?
fish.
Wadasumi?
One of those. Yeah.
So that was kind of cool, but again, I don't care about either of those guys, so wasn't that cool.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So last chapter, Odin had been killed, and it was very epic, and it was very incredible.
He was born to boil.
He was born to boil. And now we're picking up right where that left off with a
flashback.
Yeah, with a flashback. A flashback within a flashback, just to some sweet moments from Momonosuke and Hiyori's memories of Odin.
Yep.
Because I guess the way the chapters had been paced up to this point, you couldn't really fit that in there.
Yeah.
So just, put it at the end. Like, now that he's dead,
I like it.
It's sad to see all of the fun times he had with his children.
And it's cool to see things like, him floating down from Sky Island with the same balloon that the Straw Hats did. I love that stuff. And it's so cool to think that Momonosuke, before I was saying like, it's pretty weird that Odin took his son with him on this journey, which it is, but it's also really cool that Momonosuke has been to all these amazing places, even if he was just a little kid when it was happening. So this kind of makes Momonosuke a little bit cooler, even though it wasn't on his own, power or anything, but it was still cool.
Yeah. So Odin doesn't really say anything that particularly interesting. It's just sort of like, by the way, go to Zou, because that will be important. And why will it be important, Dad? Or like Lord Odin? Oh,
wait. Before we get to that, even there's just a moment where Odin here says, like, after he's like, Momonosuke, the world is such a wonderful place. If you're just in Wano, you won't get to see these amazing sights that you've seen. So the fact that Momonosuke had been to all these places in the world, I think is setting the stage for the opening the borders. All that.
He did say that in his like dying breath, like also.
Right.
But...
It's just reiterated here. And also we see him being like, Momonosuke, listen up. What's your type of woman? Which is clear. I think this is the implication as to why Momo is a pervert. He got a little bit of that from his dad.
Oh yeah.
Who was a total Chad and slayed puss everywhere he went. So I know that like we're seeing one little conversation. I feel like the implication is Odin he just gives you a little bit of a tease as to what Odin was like and why his son is a little bit like that.
Basically just explaining a few little things that might be interesting. But then we get back into the present of the flashback.
Right.
Where the vassals, the 9 red scabbards, are running away, having just been freed by Odin's sacrifice.
I'm sorry, before we get to that, I just want to, about the flashback, he has a little moment with Hiyori, which is nice. He likes her playing. He's encouraging her to play the shamisen. That'll be helpful later. But he says one thing where he says, I really like your song, Hiyori. Play it at my funeral. So that really seems to solidify that he knew he was going to die. Do you think that's like a thing that he had read from like the prophecy that he knew?
I do not think that has got anything to do with it.
Because the way that it's said, it seems really deliberate, the way it's portrayed.
Here's the thing. Yeah. I'm not sure when this is taking place. I assume...
Oh, no, it must be after he came back.
It must be after he came back. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess, yeah. So, well, during this time, he was like pretending to act like a fool in the capital.
Correct.
And he knew that like Kaito was there, but I don't think he knew he was going to die right then.
I feel like the implication is that, like, why else would he say to Hiyori in this weird way, like, oh, I love that song, play it at my funeral, ha ha ha. And the way that he says later, like, oh, it was just a joke. Okay, like, that is something the weird, insensitive Odin might say, and so maybe it's on that angle, but
I feel like it's on that angle.
If that's what, okay, fair enough.
Like, it's on that, from his perspective, it's on that angle. From the storytelling perspective, it's a
for us, we can...
A deliberately picked moment from real life that actually happened to show that he'll die, which we already know.
That may well be true. Okay, fair enough. All right. Anyway, back to the present now.
Yeah, so the present...
Where Odin is dead. That happened.
Odin is dead. Kinemon and I forget...
Kiku. That's Kiku with him. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kiku. They're running away. Shinobu is there, and she's asking, like, can I become one of the Red Scabbards or whatever?
Yeah.
And Kinemon says, it was all just there was no formal way to get in.
Yeah.
Just, if you want to be, you can.
If you want to be a vassal, there's no entry program. Just hang around long enough and you just are considered one.
Yeah, so that's cool. So she's getting something.
Even though Odin's already dead. But I guess Momo's alive, so there's still something to protect there.
Yeah.
The whole family.
There was this moment that you weren't sure about. I'm not sure about it either.
Yeah, yeah.
Where Inuarashi and Neko Mamushi are arguing about whether one of the other is like the spy that Kaito mentioned.
I actually did go and look that up.
What did he say?
So in chapter 970, remember when Odin met Kaito and they had their big battle, as they first like face off on that field or whatever, he's like, Odin says like, how did you know or whatever, and Kaito he says like, maybe I had a spy in your organization. So that's the line he says. I've got it right here. It's him saying,
like knowing that Odin would fight back?
Well, okay, Odin says, I'm glad I pulled this up, like, aren't you careful? How did you know that I was on the way to kill you? I was hoping to catch you while you were drinking and cut off your head, like, in that way. And Kaito replies, there might be a spy inside your palace, whoa, row, 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 in his dragon laugh. So,
inside his palace.
So the fact that Kaito was there on the battlefield waiting for Odin, when Odin intended this to be a surprise attack, strongly seems to indicate that he had some insider information from somebody.
That's strange, because I don't know who that could be.
I don't know either. Well, there may be spoilers out about the next chapter, but I won't mention it now.
Oh, you spoiler.
Oh, I don't know.
I haven't seen them yet. All right. Well...
We'll see what happens with that.
Potentially that'll be
I didn't confirm or deny nothing.
Okay, fine, cool, sick. Is it all of them? Are they all
it's everyone's
the spies?
A spy.
Everyone hated Odin secretly.
Well, so actually this was weird because fucking Viz translations, man. They say like Yugara might as well have been the one who killed Lord Odin is what Dog Storm says to Cat Viper. Who the hell are these people? Fucking Viz, you foolish translator people.
Viziots.
First of all, Dogstorm and Cat Viper, obviously weird translations. We don't need, they're Inugarashi, Neko, Maamushi, whatever. But the fact that he says Yugara, I was then like, oh shit, who's Yugara? I gotta look up in the wiki this character.
With a verbal tick.
They've got the verbal tick. Put a dash before the Gara, or I'll be confused, Viz, please. It's an editorial comment, so I don't. Now that all our friends have been decimated on the scanlation scene, and you're all that we've got left, please at least make it readable so I don't have to, I'm not confused. It's my one request.
Okay.
But the fact that, why does Inuarashi, I don't know why I put that extra G. Inuarashi, why does he say, like, you might as well have been the one who killed Lord Odin? What's the implication of that?
Well, they're arguing amongst themselves as to, you're the spy. No, you're the spy.
Oh.
If you're the spy, you may as well have killed him.
Okay, it must be spy stuff.
They're just very angry.
And clearly this scene is like there to set the stage for why Inuarashi and Nekomamushi like hate each other later on, probably, right?
Kinda. I'm not sure.
Maybe there's more to it. I don't know.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
My poster.
You want to take your poster?
I do want to take my poster because I look so handsome in it.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, well, in any case, so there's spy discussion going on, and immediately after that, we see a big demon jump out and seemingly grab Inuarashi and Nekomamushi. That appears to be those same demons, which were, there was a name for them.
I can't remember the name.
Whatever the name for those big monsters that showed up.
Incredibly large giant beasts in the Beast Pirates crew.
Which right now seem to be like the real enforcers of Kaito's crew that we like haven't met yet officially. Yeah. They're here, they're strong, they do something, and I'm very excited to see what it amounts to.
So this is basically explaining why certain members of the Red Scabbards didn't go back or didn't go forward in time. Mm-hmm. Thanks to Togi's power, because they got held up. Ashura Doji on the next page and Denjiro had to hold them off.
Right.
So they got stopped.
Well, I have some questions about that, but we'll get to that right now as we are here.
So in Kuri, Odin's house.
We see King there looking very dapper.
Yeah, King's there. He's probably burning it because he's a burning guy.
Yep. True. He's on fire all the time.
So I think... I'm not sure about the sequence of events here. Kaito is in the castle. He grabs...
he clearly kicks the shit out of Toki.
He kicks the shit out of Toki.
Kicks the fuck in, grabs Momo.
Momonosuke, he's grabbing him by the neck, holding him up, and, he's just seeing what this kid's made of.
So quick pause. This clearly, we'd seen visions before, things were a little mysterious up to this point in like Momonosuke's history and his perception of like this whole Kaito arc since like Punk Hazard with Doflamingo and stuff. So we had been wondering, like, when did they meet? Now we know about time travel. So clearly this is the moment that traumatized Momo, like being physically assaulted by Kaito and like held over a precipice, about to fucking die. So now we at least, that loop is closed. We know what the fuck happened to this guy. So I'm satisfied to see that finally happen.
Yeah, so in the face of complete destruction,
they're fucked.
Momo still stands by his dad and says, my dad's cool, I'm going to, to take over this country.
My father's a great warrior, and one day I will carry this nation on my shoulders.
Yeah.
That's some Chad shit. This man's like I think he's 8. I think he's 8 years old. He's talking to Kaito.
Definitely the son of Odin.
And by the way, Kaito here in his like sick biker outfit, standing on the edge of this, very Sekiro, very based. He looks so good with his big poofy cape and his sick leather clothes and his giant horns. I bet every person who drives a motorcycle wishes they looked like Kaito. I know I do. He looks so cool.
What if you had a fucking Kaito shaped, like with the horns, like...
he looks like it's literally handlebars.
He looks like he is both the biker and the bike.
Dude, in his dragon form, you could ride him like a motorcycle and go vroom vroom on his horns. And that would be sick.
That should happen.
Luffy should go gear giant man and just ride him as a giant man and steer him around.
Drive him into the ocean.
That's how he's going to defeat... Oh, and he drives him directly onto Zoro's sword, and that's how they beat Kaito.
It's just Zoro holds it up, like...
I'm still curious. This is cool. This moment is making Kaito, like, he's physically involved with characters we know. It's making him more intimidating, because I just want to see these guys themselves do stuff. Like when we got Big Mom's flashback and she devoured all her friends and family, that cemented her as, like, a great character. For other reasons as well. And
what this is doing more than like making him out to be a terrible villain is that he has a bit of, respect.
He's got honor because he, spoiler, doesn't kill Momo.
He doesn't kill Momo. He throws him onto the ground and says, "I'll just let the house burn and kill him. I don't need to kill him myself." But that's leaving the opportunity for him to survive, and he knows that.
And in the same way, he was the one who allowed Odin to do the thing where he held up the plank so that all the other samurai could survive. Because Kaito, not a totally evil guy, and I'm telling you right now, this honorable streak in Kaito, it is put there by Oda specifically, because I'm calling it at this point right now. Kaito will be defeated but not dead, and might even join with Luffy by the end of One Piece. He's putting the seeds of a redemption arc in Kaito at this very moment. I have no doubt at this point. Definitely,
if Big Mom can change her mind about Kaito and just be friends with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was that whole thing about like, what if Big Mom became allies to Luffy? And like, because Sanji gave her a cake or whatever. I mean, that may still play a part.
I still think that'll happen.
If this happens, because like these two powerful, unbelievably powerful people teaming up, Luffy shouldn't be able to win.
Right.
He might be able to run away.
I think they will defeat Kaito through some combination.
Yeah, like defeat as in like knock him down or make him bleed or something like that.
They better.
But if he doesn't die, which is very likely, I think with that,
eventually, I think there will be some sort of peace.
It could even be leading into like the Yonko teaming up against the world government.
That's what I think.
For a final big like actual destroy the world.
This big war that everybody's talking about. Clearly, the bad guy will be probably Blackbeard, maybe trying to take over the world government in some way.
Yeah, he might want
something like that.
He might be looking for the throne, and all the other pirates might be looking to destroy the throne.
Based on what we know about Blackbeard, like the little preview as a child we saw, and now we've actually seen him in the flashback. He was clearly like a poor ragamuffin fuckboy. Something about him, I bet, unlike people like Luffy who want freedom, Blackbeard's always been a very different kind of guy. I bet what he wants is personal control, which like for him is freedom when like he personally can control everyone. To him, that's like maximal freedom for whatever he wants to do. I bet that his actual goal is to seize the throne, that maybe he has more information about Eam than other people, but regardless, I bet like while the world, the revolutionaries want to destroy the Tenryubito and like set the world free, I bet Blackbeard's goal, as opposed to Luffy's and stuff, is to personally seize control of the government, like to keep it there, but just with him at the top. I bet that'll be his end game, but we'll see when we get there.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I was just gonna say that I really like Kaito here. We're doing good things to make him a more intimidating villain, but I do hope and think we will definitely get more of like a personal story about Kaito when like the fight with him happens or something. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's got to happen at some point.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, so here's where the order of events sort of confuses me.
Yeah.
Because Toki,
the retainers now arrive, finding Momo.
Kinemon, Raizo, and Kanjuro arrive. I think that's the only three. Oh, I guess
Kawamatsu is there too.
Kiku would
Kawamatsu
be
and Kiku, yeah.
They arrive. Kaito is gone. What thing is burning? Toki explains to them her devil fruit ability to go to put things or herself 20 years into the future.
Is it specifically 20 years though?
Or every time interval that has been mentioned is only 20 years.
I'm pretty sure this is the only specific time interval that's been mentioned, and there's just been a lot of them about this one event.
No, because there's a bit later where Odin talks like casually about, oh, well, in the next, you can come back 20 years later.
But I think she says that because it's like prophesized that in 20 years something will happen, so as a result of knowing that, they choose to send things 20 years into the future. I thought that, because Odin knows prophecies and shit.
I feel like it's probably just 20 years, because if it were at any time you wanted, you could avoid all danger by just like flashing like
an hour
or two
minutes
into the future, and you'd disappear. You wouldn't be there anymore.
I mean, it's true. I just feel like that hasn't been clearly established, even if it is true.
That's why I think it's the 20 years.
Okay, regardless. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. It doesn't matter for the sake of what we're talking about. Yeah.
She tells them about the future. She tells them maybe it's like because Odin said, because he learned the time that Joy Boy is supposed to come back.
Yeah.
That 20 years from now will be the perfect time to do things.
That seems to be the implication.
So she sends them in the future. She doesn't send Hiyori for some reason.
Let's discuss this real quick.
Why doesn't she do that?
She sends exactly 5 people into the future, as we know. Kinemon, Kanjuro. Oh, Jesus Christ, I forget the other ones.
Kinemon, Kanjuro, Raizo, Toki, and
not Toki.
Momonosuke. Not Toki,
and
Kiku,
not Kiku. Oh, is Kiku one of them too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right, it is Kiku.
She's young.
And she stayed on Wano while the others went off to go find allies.
Yeah.
Okay, so this raises a question, because again, if there's a limitation, maybe she knew she could only send 5 people at a time.
Why would she send only one of her children?
Why would you not send your daughter?
That's.
Why?
I don't think it's a limitation.
What is the purpose of leaving your daughter behind? You don't think another samurai would volunteer to stay behind to let their fucking lord's daughter go? They would.
Yeah.
They definitely would.
It really seems like
very strange.
Like something like it's very vague
Was
as
there
to
a
what
purpose to
happens.
it? Was there a purpose to doing that? Is the question. There must have been.
I don't know whether there could have been, because the Kawamatsu taking Hiyori, raising her, you know, and all that. It ends up.
She didn't even stay with Kawamatsu.
She ran away. She got found by, you know, and then she turned into.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
We'll have more answers, I'm sure, in the future. But like, I don't understand why.
I think this is one of those things that seems weird, but there will be an explanation at some point. There must be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so Toki, after doing this, leaves on a horse with a hood over her head. She rides to Bakura town.
Yep.
People are seeing Odin's palace burn. They're like, this is fucked.
Yeah.
We didn't believe Odin. This sucks.
It's that very fatalistic, like, Japanese attitude that, like, oh, we angered the gods, man.
Yeah,
it's
basically.
our whoopsie daisy. Guess we're just fucked for life. It's pretty much
done for.
Their answer.
An eternal night that never breaks. Lol. Epic. And so Toki, there's a little bit of a flashback where Toki is talking to Odin.
Yep.
About, like, he's talking about the day the world is overturned, which is the Joy Boy thing, which is the thing you learned.
Right.
Jump 20 years ahead, and the day you seek shall. Wait.
The implication of this conversation seems to be Odin and Toki are discussing.
No, it's because Toki came from 800 years in the past to find this moment. Presumably, is what this conversation is about.
Yeah, something like that. It seems to be.
And now that Odin knows when it is.
And so now that he knows when it is, he says to Toki, like, just jump right now. Go ahead to 20 years in the future. And she gives him a big old kick, a big old smack. And she doesn't say why, but clearly the implication is she doesn't want to live in a world without her husband.
Yeah.
She's decided honorably she wants to just end her life here, not moving on, because she found her true love, and she wants to honor him. It's, you know, it's
and
one
now
of those things.
Now that he's died, she wants to die in the same time.
Yeah.
So
you could argue it's like foolish or silly or not. It's not very utilitarian to abandon your son and daughter when you could, like, protect them and help them. They're still alive. You could help them as their mother. She's like, nah, brah, just gonna die right here. But there is a purpose to it.
There is a purpose because she goes to a crowd and she makes a big speech about how in 20 years thing will happen.
Right.
Rise up, gamers. Then
so
don't
this
rise
is the
up
prophecy
now.
that Orochi's scared of.
This is the prophecy that she makes. That scares Orochi into being scared and shitting his pants every day.
Indeed.
That the KOZUKIS would come back and kill him. So
you know, it did make a difference.
She sets the stage for a rebellion, a resurgent at a specific time. Yeah. And, you know, everybody starts waiting, I guess.
Yeah, and it keeps that little flame alive. Like all those people with the moon tattoos that would form the troops that they're trying to put together in the present. This is why they have hope still and stuff. So. Yeah. Well done, Toki. And seeing her, like, we see her, like, giving her speech as, like, the Kaito troops are, like, cocking their guns, like, taking aim at her fucking brain. And then there's just off screen, we just hear that, what is it? We just hear some kya's. Some kya! She's fucking murdered in front of everyone in town. And they're just like, well, we deserve this for doubting our lord. Yeah. Never doubt the aristocracy, kids. They deserve a higher position than you. Yeah. That's what I learned today in One Piece.
So, it's the fucking end of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, or whatever the fuck. Everybody's going into hiding. They're just going to wait for 20 years. Ashura Doji is just sitting around. Kawamatsu is trying to make the princess happy. And then Denjiro goes into his home and just
He's
frowns.
So angry.
He gets the big angry face, the extreme angry face. And he just pushes that face so hard. It's like when they say, you know, don't have an...
don't frown because your face will get stuck that way.
Yeah, if the wind changes, your face will get stuck that way if you frown too much or something. He frowned way too much, and his entire physical makeup of his face changed, which
literally
is why...
seethed too hard.
Seethed too hard, which is why... The most improbable character that could be Dentro was him. The person who doesn't look like him at all.
No, not even. His hair color changed from like black to light blue because he is Kanjuro, the current guy that we were like, oh my god, what's this guy's origin? He just is Denjiro, one of the retainers, and has been, you know, pretending he took care of the Hiyori, and they made her into fucking, what's her name again? Katakuri girl.
Uh-huh.
What's the name of the courtesan that Hiyori became?
Komurasaki?
Komurasaki, yes.
Yeah,
so he just seethed and seethed and seethed all night long.
He just went rah.
This doesn't make any sense. This is really, really stupid that this is what happened.
It's funny that like only he was so fucking black-pilled by that moment. That he changed his skull shape in rage.
He was always like the most like quiet, kind of introverted one of them, I guess. So
I
maybe
don't
that's
know.
why his rage burns so deep.
It's so weird. We didn't know much about him before. We only learned a little bit about him when we met him, and now it's just sort of been, and he's been there, and he's been there, and he hasn't really done anything, and he's been there, and then suddenly he's the character that you didn't expect him to be.
Yeah. I mean, all these theories about Dentro, Zoro's teacher, and was related. I mean, those are all out the window now, which we all knew that those weren't going to happen. But,
they're unlikely. I mean, there's a potential, but like, yeah. So he comes out of his house with a different face, and then he goes back to the city. Since nobody recognizes him, he calls himself a different name, Kyoshiro.
Or Kyoshiro the mad.
Kyoshiro
Because
the
he's
mad.
so fucking mad.
He's so fucking mad.
He's defined by his anger and his bitter incel rage.
He didn't get his tendies. That's really, like, Odin makes the best tendies, and Odin is dead. There's no more tendies.
It's true.
So he goes back, he joins Orochi, presumably to eventually kill him. I can't think of any other reason why.
He must have a general plan of getting in with Orochi so that when the time comes, he'll be able to, like, Now, you'd think, in the span of 20 years, knowing this man took everything from you, you'd have an opportunity to pull an assassination attempt. And not literally prostitute, which he literally did, the daughter of your former lord to many men, one of which is this man who murdered her, her father.
I mean, killing Orochi is possible. I think he may have been biding his time because...
For the 20-year prophecy?
Because Kaito is too much for him.
Yeah, okay.
So he needs the situation to get to a point where he could help defeat Kaito.
That's more fair. That's a reasonable point.
So, I get it.
Yeah.
Hiding the princess Hiyori as Komurasaki.
Just make her a servant girl, bro. Why you gotta make her fuck? Why you gotta make her fuck the people who killed her?
Because she is the daughter of Odin, and Odin loves to fuck.
That's true. She inherited that
loves
from
to
him.
Fuck.
I guess you're right.
They're good fuckers.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Exactly.
As they say.
So yeah, that is
so he's in there.
Cover up. He's taken care of her for 20 years.
You can see him like bowing in front of Orochi, just seething as he's bowed in front of him. Just kill him, man. Just kill him. You can do it. But okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So, and also the witching owl boy.
Oh right, we finally get our answer on that too.
Yeah, I don't know why I hadn't assumed Kyoshiro could be the witching owl boy.
I had never, because when they say the word boy, I assume he was small.
I mean, even if he was, even before we knew about Dentro, him being the witching owl boy wouldn't have been that much of a stretch. Because we kind of had a suspicion that he wasn't that loyal to Orochi.
Yeah,
he's got his own thing going on. So him being the witching owl boy could have been, people could have already had that idea. Mm-hmm. So, pretty cool.
Fair enough, fair enough.
We get half of a panel about Kawamatsu losing Lady Hiyori. He finds her.
Yep.
She knows he's Denjiro, and he raises her to be a slut for money.
Canon.
And that's it.
And that is straight at the end of the chapter.
That wraps up a bunch of questions, and we're just waiting for stuff to happen now. We're almost done with the flashback.
I think we're finally there. Spoilers, I think the other one at least continues the flashback. It may end, I don't know.
I definitely feel like it would be like half of a chapter and then back to the real arc.
I sure hope so. I sure hope so.
It's way better to make the transition inside the chapter than it is to do it right at the beginning or the end.
Indeed. And I guess that's all there is to say. We pretty much have everything answered, everything wrapped up. I guess there's the traitor. What's the traitor situation? I mean, back in the present, we were faced with a very bad situation where like no allies had showed up. So I guess we'll be back there soon, wondering what the implications of this are going to be. So now that we know that Kyoshiro is Denjiro, hopefully he'll show up and help.
He'll show up and help. Could he be the traitor though?
After all this shit of being so damn mad, that can't be.
No, I guess not. But like, who could it be?
Raizo?
It would be weird. It would be weird for any of them.
Anyone who isn't Denjiro, Kinemon.
Maybe
it could be Kinemon.
It could be Kiku.
It could be Kiku. Maybe she's mad that her big brother sister left, and she's seething, fully seething, or whatever.
The seething.
Everyone's seething in this chapter, including me.
Seething, and while Odin is sizzling.
Things are boiling in One Piece right now, just as Odin would have wanted. But I mean, okay, that's pretty much it. I mean, we've wrapped up all the plot details that we're able to get out of this one. New chapter coming soon.
It was cool that
3 days.
we were able to do like a podcast on the beach.
We got to get back to our boat quick because we're over our parking meter. We're over time. We're gonna have to put more berries in there, more doubloons, which we have none of.
Yes.
Because we are poor pirates.
And we can't even get. I mean, you could get 100,000 subs, but that doesn't equal any money.
No, we all know that doesn't convert to any amount of actual currency. So we better go back to that immediately.
Yeah. Do you want to go right now?
Let's go. See you on the next episode of the podcast, everybody. Let's go.
Goodbye.
I love being a pirate.
Same.